Good morning. So, welcome. Let's look into the paper of General Studies. The exam was very recently conducted on June 18th, and we look into the questions that are given. So, first of all, for today, I would like to discuss the polity questions with you, and later I'll be discussing various other subjects also. If you look at the number is very huge with respect to polity. More than 20 questions have come, in fact. And hopefully, you all might have written well, and especially for Indian polity. So, your questions, your answers might have been very much correct. And if you look at the clearly from very close angles, every question, so there is a concept of analysis that is involved. That is the reason why some of you might have felt that the paper is really difficult. But the clear-cut preparation, the people who went with the strategy, it was not at all a difficult one, and you could have scored better. Before your examination also, I was telling you that it is better for you to put right answer for at least 65 questions, so that you will be getting 130 marks and you will be there in very much a safe zone. But by looking at this paper, obviously, so the cutoff will be a little bit lower. We don't know what exactly will be the cutoff. It will be only a speculation. So whatever the cutoff that is, this is going around. So going around in the circles today. So that is only the speculation that is made by the seniors and some other institutions. So probably they are correct. They may not be correct. And approximately we can expect. But my suggestion is that irrespective of all these things, you are expected to prepare for the main examination very seriously. So, but this is the time for us to analyze ourselves where exactly we are standing. So that is the reason why it is not just reading the material that is given by an institution, or it is not just reading any simplified book that is available in the market. So this is the examination that is demanding to read certain important and very standard books. That is the reason why. So from the very beginning, I was telling you that you have to read certain books, especially when you are preparing for the civil service examination. And I also listed out those books in our website, and you were asked to read that. And take it for granted, all the students who read those books after watching our videos of Indian polity, definitely you could have attempted all the questions right with respect to Indian polity. Right. So by looking at these questions, I was really amazed. Fine. As usual, like every year. So the questions have come up, and our students have written absolutely well. But there may be a little confusion for some of you at one or two places. So I would like to discuss those things with you. Let me straight away open the document now, and I'll show you the questions that are related to Indian polity and which were asked very recently, and we'll try to look at the answers. Look at this. Look at this. This is the question number 1. You can have a look at this. With the reference to the Parliament of India, consider the following statements. Look at this. Simple one. A private member's bill is a bill that is presented by a member of the Parliament who is not elected but only nominated by the President of India. And here you are asked to pick up the correct statements. Just think it over regarding this. In our polity classes on day number 1 itself, you got the answer for this. I made it very clear who is a private member and who is a public member. Since you know the meaning of this private member, absolutely you can say that statement that has been given is a wrong statement. It is a wrong statement because a private member is a member who is not a minister. Other than ministers, remaining other members are called private members. So obviously the statement is wrong. Clear? Now have a look at this. Have a look at this very clearly. The only thing is that, I was telling you since the beginning, when you are reading the questions, you need to have the patience. That patience will not come on the day of the examination. Please remember this. Patience comes out with the practice. That is the reason why I was very much insisting on you that you have to go for the practice, right? And the people, so all the aspirants who went for the thorough practice, they will clear this examination, right? So because once you go for the practice, so whatever the doubts that are there, so those doubts will be cleared, and you will have a lots of clarity, and by reading the question you will be able to get the answers, right? So now have a look at this once again. Let me show you the document. Right, look at this. Recently, a private member bill has been passed in the Parliament of India for the first time in the history. So we started our journey in the year 1950 and we are in the year 2017. Recently, a private member bill has been passed. Is it for the first time? Absolutely wrong. So far, 14 private member bills have been passed. 14 private member bills have been passed so far. That's the reason why both the statements are very much wrong. Both the statements are very much wrong. And obviously, so you can pick up the answer like this, right? Which of the following statements given above is or correct? Neither the first one nor the second one. Both are wrong. Am I clear? That's it. So with a little patience, with a little interest, so once you start reading, so you will get the answers. Clear? And hopefully most of you might have answered nicely. Look at this. Look at this. So far, only 14 private member bills have been passed by both the houses and they became the law in the history of the Indian Parliament. So obviously, first time that statement is really wrong. And the last such bill was that the Supreme Court enlargement of criminal appellate jurisdiction bill that was passed in the year 1970. Right? So that's it. But otherwise, with respect to transgender bill, a bill was introduced. A bill was introduced in the Rajya Sabha and it was passed by the Rajya Sabha unanimously in the recent past. But later, the government has introduced another bill in the Lok Sabha that is pending. Right? So meaning, so the recent private member bill is still there. That's it. Right? But otherwise, for our information, this is not the first time that the private member bill has been passed. Obviously, both the statements are wrong and the answer is option D. Now, look at this once again. I'm going further. Second one of the implications of equality in society is the absence of. Did we discuss or not? Equality. What did we say? Equality. Everybody should be treated equally, right? So obviously, you should not have any privileges. So meaning there should be the absence of privileges, right? So just by reading the statement one time, you can come to a conclusion. You can come to a conclusion, and hopefully, so you did right. Look at this third question. Which principle among the following was added to the DPSP by the 42nd Directive Principles of the State Policy by the 42nd Amendment to the Constitution? Right? Hopefully you remember this one. I explained you all these things A, B, C, D while discussing about the Directive Principles of State Policy. Hope you remember. There is no doubt that what are all the options that you are seeing looking at the screen. A, B, C, D, they are the part of directive principles of state policy. Clear? But the point is that which one was added later? Originally, it was not there. Which one was added later through an amendment called 42nd Amendment? See here, if you look at these type of questions, what is it we need to understand here? So we need to understand that the questions are not direct, questions are not simple. So you are expected to go through each and every article very thoroughly. That is the reason why in our classes I was telling you to read the books that were suggested by me. right? And of course, even for the outsiders also, I was suggesting to read certain books. Without reading books, clearing the examination is not possible, right? And each standard book, of course, in the beginning what will happen, so when you start reading the listening to the subject, you may feel very comfortable, but that comfortableness has to be concretized. So how do you concretize this one? Over a period of time, so the clarity may be lost. So in order to continue with the clarity, in order to improve the clarity on the subject, you need to go for the revision. So when I say revision, revision is not a superficial reading again, right? So but the thing is that when you are revising, that the time is definitely reduced. There's no doubt about this. If you read for the first time any textbook thoroughly, it will take a longer period of time. When you go for the second reading, revision, third time revision, so obviously the time will be reduced. So at this time what will happen is that, say for example, while reading the newspaper, you will come across with the concept of the DPSP. During the time, open the textbook, read entire DPSP once, so that you are revising not just one article that is mentioned in the newspaper, but you are reading all the articles from 36 to 51. Every day it will not happen. Every day it will not happen. This is how you have to be. You have to prepare for the examination. If something is mentioned in the newspaper, means that is definitely related to current affairs, obviously. So when you're talking something about the latest one, so they will also give you the background, so you will get more clarity over a period of time. Similarly, something regarding fundamental duties, something regarding the fundamental rights, during that time come back to the textbook, read the whole fundamental rights from the textbook. So this is how the preparation has to go. But majority of the students, I observed that they just depend on the notes that is given by the institution. They just depend on the certain the delivery of the lectures. Both are fine. Lectures are important, the notes given by the institution is important, but it should be consolidated only by reading the standard books. That is the reason why I every time insist to read the books. Did I not? I did. I remember every time I used to tell you. Hope you are getting this. So now let's see. If you look at this DPSP, all this DPSP we have discussed in the class. Look at this. Look at this very clearly. So which principle among the following was added to the DPSP by the 42nd Amendment of the Constitution? Equal pay for equal work for both for men and women. It's very much there in the original Constitution. Participation of workers in the management of industry was not there originally. This is the one that was added. Right to work, education, public assistance was there. Securing the living wages and humane conditions of work to workers. Each one, do you remember? I explained you the each one along with the complete concept, right? And obviously, the answer is option B. These are the related articles. Article 39D is this option A. Article 43A is option B. Article 41, this option C. Article 43 is option D. Hope you got it. Very, very, very important. Meaning is simple. All right. So that is the reason why, every time I used to tell you, everybody is doing hard work. All the people who are writing the examination, they are really working very hard. There is no doubt about this. When I say hard work, it should be including smart work also, right? So it's not just how many hours you are reading every day, but how effectively you are reading during those hours. That's very important. Somebody may be reading for 12 hours, 13 hours. We are not concerned with that. But how effectively you are reading 8 hours, 9 hours. Constructively, you should be able to use it. Clear? So that is the reason why, the preparation methods must be, drastically changed in the society, in fact. Right? And I'm here for you, so to tell you, how exactly you need to prepare for the competitive examinations. But even today also I see, some students, though they are interested to become the civil servants, they could not make, they cannot make, sometimes because of the lack of the strategies, because you are completely tuned. Some people are completely tuned even today. This is the way you prepare for the academic examinations. Superficial reading may be permitted over there. So this is the examination where you need extensive and intensive reading. Both are important. Clear? Very, 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 very important. That's the reason why while reading you will feel comfortable. Clear? And as if so we got the whole subject, you will be so happy. But that should be materialized. That should give you the results. Clear? That is the reason why, if someone goes wrong anywhere, please make yourself correct it and come on to the path. Be very serious, be very sincere, and start the preparation once again. Irrespective of your scores, you might have checked your scores, right? And I also uploaded the, this key on our site, and you might have checked the scores. So many keys are available, right, from various institutions. Good thing. And irrespective of your score, I suggest you to start preparation for, this main examination. Whatever may be the outcome, you should be there on the track to see that if the things are fine, if you are clearing, you write the main examination seriously. If not, don't worry. All right. So if this is a failure, say for example, and from this failure you should learn lessons, correct yourself, move forward, and you should be successful. So this is what you are supposed to do, right? So don't be unhappy, don't be demotivated, right? And it's an experience. Take this as an experience and go ahead for the next years. Be happy. If you made mistakes, take it for granted that you have learned now, at least. Okay, at least today. So we are realizing that what should be the right path with respect to the preparation. Is that okay? Right. That is the reason why this is an examination that requires lots of energies and a dynamism. Lots of dynamism is required. Don't just depend only on hard work. That will not serve the purpose. Take my words for granted, my dear friends. Okay. Yes. Now, right, everybody might have gone right for this. Local self-government can be best explained as an exercise in democratic decentralization. Right? We discussed this. Next. Which of the following statements are true of the fundamental duties of an Indian citizen? Read this. Right? A legislative process has been provided to enforce these duties. Is it right? They are correlated to legal duties. Fine. So this is answer. Right? So this is how. So you need to go ahead. Next one. Which one of the following objectives is not embodied in the preamble of the Constitution of India? We know what is a preamble, right? And we discussed regarding preamble very elaborately, right? If I'm not wrong, there is one more question regarding preamble also. Clear? What is this? Just by looking at this. So that is the reason why, your preparation has to be in such a level that if there is a question regarding preamble, the whole preamble has to come to your brain. So meaning that should be reflecting, right? Of course, that's already there here. So that should come out properly and effectively, and you should be able to identify the right answer for this. Look at this, I'll tell you. Some of you have told me that you made a mistake here. If you look at this liberty is present in all the four options: liberty of thought, economic liberty, liberty of expression, liberty of belief. Liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, very much present. But where is economic liberty is present? Did we discuss about this? Economic justice is present. justice, social, economic, and political. Right? But economic liberty is not embodied in the preamble. Clear? So, obviously, you just look at the question, please, very carefully. There is no doubt that we discussed the complete preamble. You know the meaning of each and every word of the preamble, that what we have discussed. So, by looking at these questions, what you should understand is that what is mentioned beside justice, what is mentioned beside this liberty, those things you have to remember. I told you already, tomorrow there may be a situation where you may be writing preamble in the main examination. So when you're writing, you should be able to remember every word. That's what we said. That's what we said. So once you can remember the preamble, once you can recollect the whole preamble, you can come to the answer very easily. Right? It does not require any special efforts. Fine. So if you are looking at the liberty at 4 places. Right? Obviously, liberty is there. But what is this liberty? Liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. But economic liberty is not mentioned. Economic justice is mentioned. So this is how you should be able to differentiate. This is possible only with a proper revision, my dear friends. Okay. That is the reason why superficial readings will not help us. Okay. Look at this. It's not justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. Let's see. Yes. Look at this. Democracy's superior virtue lies in the fact that it calls into activity. What do you mean by democracy? First of all, hope you can recollect everything, right? So leave the first one, go to this second one. The methods for strengthening executive leadership. Is it a democracy? In democracy, you should strengthen the people. You should strengthen the ordinary people, men and women. See, look at what is B is wrong, obviously. Strengthening executive leadership. That's not the democracy. Superior individual with dynamism and vision. Is it only for the superior individuals? Definitely not. Democracy is for all. D, a band of dedicated party workers. Is it only for the party workers? No. So obviously, option A is the answer. The intelligence and character of the ordinary men and women. Clear? See here. The thing is that you should be able to read the question with clarity. You should be able to read the question with understanding. See here, before the examination also, I told you during with our do's and don'ts, I made it very clear. Because of any reason, if you don't know the answer for the first question, don't get panicked. Second question, you don't know the answer, don't get panicked. Did I tell you or not? Even after that, some people got panicked. Right? Out of 100 questions, I asked you to put the right answer for 65 questions. Beyond that, everything is bonus. And by looking at this paper, 65 is really too much. 65 questions. Right? So getting it? So meaning is simple. This is providing an opportunity for us to learn from our own mistakes. Right? So today morning also I was telling you, this in one of the classes, right? So I was saying that, we learn from our mistakes. Good. We learn from our mistakes because we are intelligent. We are, this conscious people. So that is the reason why, this we are learning from our mistakes. And I say, what is wrong? What is wrong if we learn from the mistakes of others? Right? So why don't we use the experience of others also? That is the reason why during the classes, whatever I say, this is all out of the experience. Because we come across with various types of students, we know what exactly the mistakes that are made by them. So I just tell you not to repeat that. Not to repeat in the sense you did not do that mistake, but your seniors, other members have done it. So this is how, this is the place where exactly the intelligence has to work. Is that clear? It is not just saying something randomly. No, this is out of experience, please. That is the reason why, number one, we need to learn from our own mistakes, good thing, and we should also learn from the mistakes of others. Clear, got it? So kindly keep this in mind and work systematically, work progressively, then the success will be yours. Now look at this. Okay. So I'm very sure that everybody must be feeling that, yes, this is the answer. I should have gone for this. The main advantage of the parliamentary form of government is that, right? What is the parliamentary form of government? Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the lower house of the parliament. Here, what is it? It is given in the C. Executive remains responsible to the legislature. That's it. Executive is nothing but Council of Ministers. Don't you know that? You know this. You know this. You should have gone for this option C directly. Right? It is not the executive legislature working independently. No. It provides continuity of the policy and is more efficient. These are all the things that are embodied. No problem. No doubt about that. But the main advantage of the parliamentary form of government is that executive remains responsible to the legislature. How many times did I tell you regarding this? Very frequently, I was telling you, a party which gets the majority will form the government. And that party continues to be there in the government as long as it enjoys the majority in the Lok Sabha. Did I tell you this or not? And the moment the party that is there in the power loses the majority, party has to step down. Government has to step down. Prime Minister submits a resignation letter. All right. The moment Prime Minister submits a resignation letter, entire Council of Ministers will get dissolved. That's it. The same meaning. In the beginning of our polity classes in every batch, right? I tell this. All right. Now look at this. Look at this. In the context of India, which one of the following is the correct relationship between rights and duties? Rights are correlatives with the duties. Rights are personal and hence independent of society and duties. Rights, not duties, are important for the advancement of the personality of the citizens. Duties, not rights, are important for the stability of the state. Right? So what is the meaning of this? Fine. So with a little thinking, you can go for the answer, and the option A is the answer. Right? Look at this. Right. So look at this. Hopefully, all of you, my dear friends, might have put it very much right. The mind of the makers of the Constitution of India is reflected in which of the following? Is it preamble, fundamental rights, directive principles, or fundamental duties? Right? In the beginning, I did not have fundamental duties. Hope you remember. Fundamental duties were added later through 42nd Amendment. So in this case, straight away, I can remove option D. But if you look at this, mind of the makers of the Constitution is reflected in which of the following? Right? What happened? What happened in the initial days when the Constituent Assembly gathered? On December 9th, the first meeting took place. December 11th, Rajendra Prasad was elected as the president of the Constituent Assembly. What happened on December 13th, 1946? Objectives resolution. What is the objectives resolution? Why are we sitting here? I am repeating the same statements what I told you during the class. Right? So why are we sitting here? So we are here to make a better constitution for India. Because we know the problems of the people, we need to have the focus, we need to have the goals. Those are nothing but the objectives. And these objectives are reflecting the minds of the people. Jawaharlal Nehru moved this objectives resolution, and January 22nd, 1947, objectives resolution was adopted by the Constituent Assembly. What is that objectives resolutions? Mind of the Constitution makers. obviously the same objectives resolutions was adopted into the constitution as the preamble. That's it. So where is the question of these fundamental rights that is coming into picture? That is the reason why patience is very, very important, right? And with this, you will develop lots of clarity. Look at this. Right. So the Parliament of India exercises control over the functions of the Council of Ministers through adjournment motion, question hour, supplementary questions, whatever you are doing in the Parliament. Obviously, Parliament is controlling the government, right? Parliament, members of the Parliament are questioning the government, right? Obviously, 1, 2, 3, all are right. So through adjournment motion, question hour, supplementary questions, everywhere you are trying to control the government. Obviously, option should be 1, 2, 3. Right? Option D is the answer. Like this. Now tell me the answer. For election to the Lok Sabha, a nomination paper can be filed by. For the election to the Lok Sabha, a nomination paper can be filed by. Did we discuss this or not? Right? One second. Let me show you this question first. Let me look at the options. Look at this. Anyone residing in India, meaning who can contest in the elections, right? Who can submit the nomination papers. Anyone residing in India, a resident of a constituency from which the election is to be contested. Is it so? Did I say this? No. Any citizen of India whose name appears in the electoral roll of a constituency. Did we discuss this or not? Very much discussed. Along with the examples, you know this, I have explained this to you. Any person who is registered as an elector, as a voter, anywhere in the country can contest from any constituency from this 543. Did we discuss or not? I gave you the examples also. The Prime Minister's example I have given. The Prime Minister of India contested from Gujarat. He also contested from Uttar Pradesh, Varanasi. Right? If option 2 is right, Narendra Modi will contest only from this Gujarat, not from Uttar Pradesh. But I made it very clear. I gave the example also in 2014. Mr. Narendra Modi contested from both. Right? But how is it possible? First of all, you should be a registered elector, registered voter anywhere in the country. Anywhere in the country, and you can contest anywhere. Right? And previously, I used to tell one example. You know, my old friends, if you are watching, so you know this. Right, Navjot Singh Sidhu, sorry, not Navjot Singh Sidhu, Muhammad Azharuddin. Muhammad Azharuddin, hope you know this person, right? So very fantastic cricketer, and you know, served as a captain for Indian cricket team too. So basically, he belongs to Hyderabad. He is a registered voter in Hyderabad, but he contested sometime back. He contested from Uttar Pradesh. He contested from Uttar Pradesh and he got elected. So meaning is simple. That shows very clearly you have to be a registered voter first of all. Then you can contest anywhere in the country. Get registered anywhere, contest from anywhere, no problem. There are many examples are there. Right? I was giving this example of Muhammad Azharuddin previously, and for the recent batches, I gave you the example of Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister himself. Right? Now, okay, so obviously, this is the answer. Any citizen of India whose name appears in the electoral roll of a constituency. Next. In the context of Indian history, see here, if you want to take this as a part of this history, this question, that you may take it. But we have discussed this, right? So we discussed various acts like, you know, Government of India 1858 Act, 1861, 1892, 1909, 1919, 1935. Right? So this is the act that is related to 1919 Act. During that time, we have discussed in the context of Indian history, the principle of diarchy refers to ABCD. Look at this. You can look at the option directly. D. Division of the subjects delegated to the provinces into two categories. Into two TWO, sorry. So two categories. What are they? Reserved subjects and transferred subjects. That's it. So we can straight away jump to the answer like this. Look at this. Now you can answer very clearly. Consider the following statements. In the election for Lok Sabha or state assembly, the winning candidate must get at least 50% of the votes polled to be declared elected. Is it the right statement? Did we say this anytime? Right. In some of the batches, I took the example of 4 candidates like ABCD. So then we have discussed this. Even in the recent past, very recently also, I was discussing with you regarding the manner of election of the President of India. During that time, I explained what is the proportional representation. During that time, I made it very clear, proportional representation means you should get minimum 50% plus 1 votes. This is applicable for the president and the vice president, but when it comes to the direct election, it is not required. Out of the contesting candidates, whoever gets the highest number of votes will be declared elected. I gave you the example also, ABCD like this. Clear? So meaning the winning candidate need not get a minimum 50%. Right? This is not required for Lok Sabha and assemblies. Right? Look at this. So obviously, this statement number 1 is wrong. Yes. What about the statement number 2? According to the provisions laid down in the Constitution of India, in Lok Sabha, the speaker's post goes to the majority party and deputy speaker's post go to, the opposition. It may go. That's a different thing. Today, if you look at this, this Lok Sabha today, you have Sumitra Mahajan as the speaker who belongs to ruling party, and you have deputy speaker Mr. Tambidurai who belongs to other party called AIADMK. That may happen, but there are so many incidents where both the speaker and deputy speaker belong to the ruling party. It may happen, but the statement is that according to the provisions of the Constitution. No, Constitution has never said like this. At no place it said like this. Obviously, the statement is wrong. Right? Traditionally, something may happen, but constitution-wise, this statement is wrong. So obviously, in this question, both the statements are wrong. So obviously, what happens? You can go for option D. That is neither 1 nor 2. That's it. Okay, like this. Right to vote and to be elected in India is a legal right. Right to vote and to be elected in India is a legal right. Next. Consider the following statements and you have to pick up the correct statements. Election Commission of India is a 5-member body. Is it 5-member body? We discussed very elaborately regarding the Election Commission. So statement number 1 is wrong. Come on, leave it. Union Ministry of Home Affairs decides the election schedule for conducting both general elections and by-elections. Is it Union Home Ministry that decides? No, we have discussed this. It is the Election Commission that will decide. Hence, option 2 is wrong. When 1 and 2 are wrong, you can look at this ABCD. Straight away, you can go to the answer D. Answer D here. Clear? Option D is the answer. Without reading statement number 3, you can go for a D and you can save the time. Clear? Now read if you want. Election Commission resolves the disputes relating to the splits, mergers of recognized political parties. Yes, that is very much right. Next. judicial review? Many times we discussed about this judicial review. In India, judicial review implies, right? I was telling you, did we discuss article number 13? Yes, did we discuss article 13 under fundamental rights? Yes, we said that, but we made it very clear the words judicial review are not mentioned in the constitution. But the essence of the judicial review is explicitly reflecting under article number 13. That is the reason why judiciary has every right to question the constitutionality of a law. That's it. Look at this. And whenever you come across with this, immediately recollect article number 13 and you will get the answer. Look at this, right? The power of the judiciary to pronounce upon the constitutionality of laws and also the executive orders. This is the judicial review, and the remaining BCD are wrong. Right? Look at this proclamation of the president's rule. Many times, we had a discussion, not just in the polity class. Even last year, when in some of the states, this president's rule was imposed, we also discussed this regarding this. Which of the following are not essentially the consequences of the proclamation? Not necessarily are the consequences. So wherever you come across with the word not, you have to be so careful, right? Dissolution of the state legislative assembly, or removal of the council of ministers, dissolution of the local bodies. So what is this here? Dissolution of the state legislative assembly is not necessarily a consequences, not a consequence. I made it very, very clear. Either assembly will be dissolved or assembly will be kept under suspended animation. And I made it very emphatically during our discussions that most of the times, rather every time, the assembly will be kept under suspended animation and the assembly will not be dissolved. Obviously, statement 1 is not necessarily the consequence. Removal of the council of ministers in the state. I made it very clear. Once the president's rule is declared, chief minister is removed, remaining ministers are also removed. Gone. This is the consequence, a necessary consequence. When it comes to the dissolution of the local bodies, no, nothing to do with the local bodies over there. They will not be dissolved. So obviously 1 and 3. So option B is the answer. Slowly, you need to go by this elimination process also, and that is possible only when you are very comfortable with the subject. Look at this. Which one of the following are envisaged by the right against exploitation in the Constitution of India? Right against exploitation. Can you please tell me what are the articles? This is a part of part 3, fundamental rights, right? Right against exploitation. Articles 23 and 24. That's it. We explained this very clearly. Look at this: prohibition of a traffic in human beings and forced labor, Article 23. And if you go to this point number 4, prohibition of employment of children in factories and mines, Article number 24. That's it. Obviously, so these two should be the answer. 1 and 4. Where is this? C. Right. Very, very, very important. Right. Abolition of untouchability. Where is it? Article number 17. Okay. So when it comes to right, so this is possible. So only when so we have the clarity over the subject, which is possible only after thorough revisions. Look at this. Out of the following statements, choose the one that brings out the principle underlying the cabinet form of government. You know what is this, right? Look at this. ABCD. Shall we pick up C? A mechanism of parliamentary democracy for ensuring collective responsibility of the government to the people. Yes, obviously C is the answer. Fine. And There is no necessity for me. You know the answer for this because we have explained this one during our classes. Which one of the following is not a feature of Indian federalism? It is a result of an agreement among the federating units, right? It's not a feature, right? So, my dear friends, what we need to learn is that we need to start reading with more concentration, and you need to go for intensive and extensive studies. Don't depend exclusively on the study material given by someone. We need to read textbooks, standard textbooks, and we need to go through the questions like this. So then we develop the clarity, right? And while reading the newspaper, whenever you come across with anything, come on, go back to the textbook and read from the textbook. Fine. And we also understood today that we can learn not just from our own mistakes, we can also learn from others' mistakes also, right? And all the people so who scored well, right, irrespective of your scores, my suggestion is that please start preparing for the main examination. Is it clear? If you are clearing, that's fine. If you are not clearing also, no problem. You are laying a very strong foundation for the next year. Clear? Don't give up, right? And be highly motivated. Energize yourself, motivate yourself, encourage yourself, right? So these things will not come from outside. So you should be your own motivator, self motivator, right? And decide a schedule, since you already know the whole subject, right? So from now onwards, fix up a schedule, stick to that schedule. Whenever you want to relax and go out, you may go out. No such restrictions are there, but always focus should be there on the examination. Like this, you start a preparation, right? And that is the reason why, because the examination is going to be there in the month of October and November. So this main examination, irrespective of your scores, you prepare in such a way as if you are going to write the main examination this time. So this is how the preparation has to go. Is that okay? Writing practice must, and must, right? And if you have, the experts nearby you, please write the answers and show it to them and get it corrected. And whatever the suggestions that they are giving, follow them, right? And see that those suggestions will be incorporated in the next answer, and slowly you will be improving it. And this is all possible because of the, only when you have the consistency. Right. And thank you so much for listening to me today regarding the analysis on the polity bits. Huge number of questions, and most of you might have answered almost all the questions correct, right? And in the next class, I'll take up the questions that are related to current affairs and economy. So then we'll have a discussion. Fine. And I wish you all the very, very best, and keep smiling, right? And keep motivating yourself, and you are the creator of your own destiny. And I wish you all a very, very good luck. Thank you so much.